Well, I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me on your show this morning. So I was born and raised in Scotland, in Edinburgh, the capital city. I came to the States for university. I went to a small school in Ohio called Denison. It was a great 4 years, excellent education, and I have to say to this day, most of my closest friends are the friends I made at university. I had a girlfriend at university, Heidi, lovely woman, and her mother was friends with a gentleman named Frank Gaffney, who ran a think tank called the Center for Security Policy here in Washington, D.C. And like all new grads who had a keen interest in public policy, I came to Washington, D.C. looking for a break, and Frank gave me an internship, and it turned into a small paid associate position. Frank had worked for President Reagan, and at that time in the mid 90s, there were many Reagan officials still active in Washington, D.C., one of whom was running the U.S. Taiwan Business Council at the time, a gentleman by the name of David Locks. David, in the late 80s, had been the chairman of the American Institute in Taiwan, and then he had taken over. He had gone from the National Security Council to IIT, and then he'd taken over the U.S. Taiwan Business Council, and he was looking for an entry-level person. And Frank and a gentleman by the name of Roger Robinson, who'd also served on President Reagan's NSC with David, they sent me over, and I interviewed for the position along with others, and I got it. And I had no background on Taiwan per se. I had family in Hong Kong, and had gone there as a boy, but nothing with Taiwan. It was just a good job at the time, Chris.
And you didn't have an Asia focus when you were at Denison?
I did not. I studied theology and history.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yep.
And then what you elected just to stay?
100%.